Hello, and welcome back to another Patreon replay analysis. Today, we are going to be going through KingKnight's replay, a very long time patron for the ASAP Weekly podcast. My name is Combo. I'm going to be hopping in and trying to break down some of his play. This looks like what a spectator may call an uneventful game where I see one goal and one save in the timeline. But I know KingKnight knows this. A lot of the guys that I work with know this. These are my favorite games to go over because odds are that there are not a lot of mistakes, but the mistakes that happen were either not capitalized on, which is something we can break down, or we can actually just break down the real positives that come without it. So I'm really excited to get into a replay just like this. He sent me two. We'll see if we can get to the win as well, of the ones that we get through. But I've normally fine with KingKnight. I love getting to go through his replays because he is a very talented player, and a lot of the things tend to be more like mindset than mechanics, which is great. You'd honestly want to be in that spot if you're a Rocket League player or aspiring talented Rocket League player, because it's much easier to work on. For most people, I got to keep that in mind, but it is much easier to work on things like mindset because you can look at them in replays. You can look at feedback from teammates. You can get coaching. There's plenty of ways that you can start to think about that. Whereas something like mechanics really just comes down to time. So if you want to learn how to double flip reset, you're just gonna have to put the time in to learn how to double flip reset, right? And so KingKnight is an awesome dude, and I'm really excited to get into the replay. I love he's using the wheels that he actually later donated to me because I adore those wheels. So big ups to KingKnight. And just before we start, I do want to also throw out an apology. This is our March replays, and I'm doing it quite late, all the way into April already. And the coronavirus and everything that had gone on had really shaken up my life a little bit, had shaken up my work, and it's just been tough trying to get everything together. And I can't thank guys like KingKnight enough for just being patient, working with me and allowing me to get through it when I do. So the good thing though is that I get to do this replay analysis, and then within the next 2 weeks we're doing the April ones. So we are going to get some great content all together. Hopefully we can get some good kind of progression between the two, and we will go from there. So and as a last little caveat, I am sporting a bit of a headache right now, unfortunately, so I do apologize if I stutter or little things like that, but we're working through it. So we always love working through Rocket League replays. They make me really happy, so I'm sure it will boost the mood and help me out. So let's dive on into this. No more wasting time. We got a threes gameplay. We got KingKnight. We got Leon a legend, and we got, I never know. It's Leon a legend, I think, or a legend, and then Mr. Miles 69. So Acceleration's the squad. They play together all the time. They're always really fun to talk about and see how they're doing. So let's dive on in. So right off kickoff, we got KingKnight. Half flip into the boost, nice and smooth. Big pop, KingKnight quick. Great control, absolutely fantastic control. KingKnight, my guy. I don't think I've seen you with that kind of air control yet. That was phenomenal. One really nice thing here from the follow. So you go for it, you leave yourself 50 boost, which is great, and this follow, you end up obviously leaning too far to the left, which ends up taking away your momentum, unfortunately, and like I said, mechanics are going to come with time, but what I love about this follow is you force Raduzo or whatever down there to get up even quicker than J-Rob was probably hoping. You're actually forcing a challenge here, which is kick ass, and you're making him actually miss this ball, which then makes J-Rob miss this ball, which then starts a very near scoring opportunity for Leon. So just from that follow, that's a fantastic start to the game. Exactly what I love to see. So great job there. Big pop over the net. Big follow. Unfortunate. So this is the first one we're talking about. Scoring opportunities that aren't capitalized on. So Mr. Miles gets a fantastic read here. Funnily enough, we're just coming off of the promotion and relegation tournaments for RLCS. And the big news right now is Karma missing a shot almost identical to this. So don't worry, KingKnight, even pros miss these shots. But there's a couple things I do want to break down here. So right away, especially so just before you jump here, I know you've just jumped, but assuming that you hadn't yet, let's look at a couple things. So we know Leon is getting boosted and leaving the zone, so this is a perfect time to challenge, along with Mr. Miles passing and taking out the coming in defender, hopefully also getting that boost. So this is literally as like isolated one-on-one as we can possibly have between you Reduzo, and the ball. The ball has just hit the wall, and it is now coming off in that direction, and so you're going for the read here. The one, I love it, and so please keep going for these. This is the only way to learn how to get good backboard reads, is by going for them, so I really do hope you continue. But I will say, in this case, I think you do need to assess the risk and reward of going for one. So if we look closely, we'll see that Reduzo has actually reversed into the net. When this ball came up, and we'll go back to show it, he was actually about here, where I'm scribbling here, and he has now actually reversed back into the net, showing right away that is the biggest body language of him kind of wiltering back into the net. He is not going for this ball, right? He's just going to hope for a save, or that you miss, or that something happens, and meaning that you have more time than you probably think right now. And that is a huge part about going for these reads, of that I would not jump yet. I would actually be slow driving into this ball, waiting for the second that I think he's about to start challenging right in here and start making his way out, and then I'm jumping and then hitting that ball into the net. This is, as much as I love, like I said, that you're going for the reads, please don't take this as a reason to stop doing them. I really, really hope you do, because that's the only way you'll ever learn. I lost plenty of games by going for them, but I was happy with that, because I knew I was slowly getting better along the time. This is not a play you need to jump to, though. And so if we watch in slow motion here, as we go on through, I think we're going to 25, yep. Very, very nearly do you get this, even with the flip. So close. But let's watch it, like I said, from a little further back. So this ball goes to the backboard. Reduzo, you see him reversing right now. You have not jumped, and you should be watching him right now. It's very easy to tunnel vision on the ball, but you should be watching him. He hasn't jumped, so I would actually hit the brakes right now, wait for that ball to come a little lower, and probably jump about now, give or take, like just so I wouldn't be this close to the ball, but I'd be a little further back, jumping now, and then it's just a quick boom, and it's literally your choice. Do you shoot there? Do you shoot there? Do you shoot there? Do you shoot there, anywhere up here, anywhere here, right? Like I would say Reduzo's zone of coverage is probably like this little box, give or take, from this close in the net. That's probably about as much as he can get, even if he gets there, right? Like, he does have quite a bit of distance. So you have this whole net to shoot on and to make that play without having to stress yourself out too much. So keeping that in mind, that is the big part here, that why I really do disagree on this play alone on the jump. But like I will end on this note so you remember it. Please keep going for them. I love that you take this opportunity. That makes me really happy. This is what you should be pushing yourself with. Always, 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 I'm on people for being too complacent and not trying new things in games. And if this is you working on it, I absolutely adore it. Please keep doing it. Makes me really happy. Great job here. Really good attempt. Very, very close. As we continue along. Good recovery. Beautiful tip off to the side. And a switch up. I love it. Great team play there. Fortunately, Reduzo is taking your boost, but that's okay. You're on pads. I'm sure you would have loved that boost, that mid boost. So I see that. I was about to bring it up. So I see this a lot. So this pops over, and you're, as a goalie right now, you're like, oh, like I can't get up to that, so I'm going to circle in net and come just in case there's a shooter so I can make a save this way. I really don't like this play. I'm never on board with this play because two things. One, when you go this far back into the net, you're doing exactly what I just talked about Reduzo. There's a big gap there that if they, let's say there was someone right over your head right now, he's zooming in over your head as he comes. He has the whole net to shoot at. He can shoot all around that little box that I drew out last time. Secondly, when you drive into the net like this, you are wasting so much time coming around to then most likely, inevitably, if it's either he's shooting and scoring or there's no one there, and that means you're going to have to drive out and follow. Finally, the big issue that comes with this part, at least, is that when Leon in this case, but whoever your teammate is, now cycles into this back post, because we got to remember the ball is technically, even though that's front right now, the ball is changing sides and coming across to the other side. When he comes into that back post, he is going to probably be confused by your body language. Oh, like, is he in the net? Okay, I'm going to go. Oh, wait, he wants to go, so I'm going to go. Oh, wait, it's me, and then go in. And there's this error in communication. Even when teams are in comms, this happens, as we see. So when you cycle into the net here, let's take a peek again. So you cycle into the net, you go to straight cam, clicking around, back to ball cam. You see there's no shooter, and you're like, all right, my time to go. So you get ready to start going, and by the time you start going with boost and all, Leon has also started going. And now both of you have used boost. Leon pulls out, and now you are rushing into this play. You end up flipping, and actually that is going to flip you too far, unfortunately. But I hope you see what I mean here, of like where this starts to happen. And so the question is then, what do we do instead, right? What's the play instead? The second you see this ball going over, always what I do every single time when I have a play set up like this is I'll do actually a loop out this way back towards where the ball is coming and then come out through here. And the reason I do this, and I'm actually using my right stick in straight cam, similar to actually what you did quite a bit here, where all I'm trying to do is I'm quickly just assessing, is there a shooter or not? If there is, great. Anywhere along this line, I can just double jump and try to make a save for wherever he's trying to cut that angle, which is nice. And so you can see I actually cover a pretty significant portion of the net by doing so. And then immediately following, once I see if the ball is going over, I now have a route that I can just instantly drive and be following this ball, catch it, and then start the rotation out and start the play coming out of the zone. Much, much smoother, and always what I recommend. What you're doing is not unique at all. Everybody plays like this, like as all the way up into the Champ 3 area. I see people still do this all the time. But as soon as you turn facing that way, see how you're facing towards where the ball is coming from, you have now killed all your momentum in any regards of playing the ball. You have to drift around, start your rush, and then go from there. Like I said, I'm not crazy about that flip because it does put you past the ball, but Leon is there to cover it up. And then watch the double the double commits, right? So Leon touches this. You already know Mr. Miles is in net. You have already rotated well into net. So what I recommend here is switching to straight cam so you can see, is Miles coming? Is he about to jump? Take your quick peek, see if he is. In this case, he does. So you're like, great. Now all you have to do is just drive right into net. Literally just roll into net. I know it's a little drawing down here, but you can just draw right into net down here. And boom, you're all set up for the play. Let Miles clear it out. You might even be able to loop out with him and start the rush down the field, right? If he wins it clean. Think of what comes next, right? It's not always just when the ball is here. It's not panic mode always, right? You guys are currently in a beautiful rotation setup. Leon got a good clear. Miles is ready to follow it up. You're cycling into net. But all of that is diminished the second that you also choose to go for this ball, right? And luckily you do save a lot of your boost, which is great, and I'm happy you do because you're able to create a play out of it. But still, I want to avoid these double commits at all costs. Great job recovering for Leon there. Oh, unfortunately, I see that coming. So you see Leon is messed up, so you go. Be careful of rushing this again. And I think you might be in panic mode right now. I'm really feeling that over the last about 15, 20 seconds or so. And so you end up double jumping into this so quick. J-Rob has already committed, so you see he's already jumped at this point. He's actually double jumping right now. So we already know that he is going for a quick touch here. So pre-jumping it isn't going to help you at all, right? Like realistically, what are the odds that you actually hit it? Pretty slim, and your job here is just to recover for Leon. So let's take our time. Let's slow it down. Let's see. And by the time you jump, he's already missed the ball, right? If you waited even half a second longer, you could just catch this and walk this out of the zone. But unfortunately now that goes through as Leon actually is going for boost, and then somehow Blue doesn't score it. So really, really lucky there, truthfully, as blunt as I can be. That is a really, really lucky opportunity that you didn't get scored on. But nonetheless, this is where we are. Next, you're following behind Leon. I like this. I'm cool with this. This is good. As soon as you get into this like half neutral zone area, slow down, maybe even potentially stop. Because realistically, what is his play going to happen here? He is either popping it and scoring, he is popping it and backboarding, or he is missing the pop and it's staying on the ground. If it stays on the ground, you are now in a position where you can turn around and make the play defensively. If he pops it in net, great, you're irrelevant, he scored, we're happy, right? If he puts it a backboard, you are well within your reach to be able to get in there, boost, and get up to that ball. So, but the second you come close to him, especially with two goalies, you are just as committed as Leon, meaning that you could easily set up a 2 or 3 on 1 here. And so we'll see what happens. Let's take a little peek. So it goes. He misses his pop, so option 1 that I talked about. J-Rob has an easy touch here. Touches it past you. So then you choose to go for their boost. And if we peek right now, Mr. Miles is stuck in net with a 3 on 1. Right? And luckily, Wenger rushes his touch, literally passes it to Mr. Miles, and Mr. Miles can pop it back out the other way. Good turn. I'm happy that you're in the play. And then back post. Beautiful. Great rotation, KingKnight. Absolutely perfect rotation. Big pop in the middle. Big boomer. Oh, so close, man. Good try. Let me know how your shooting's feeling. I don't want to obviously make an assumption off of just literally one shot, but if you are feeling you're skying the ball a lot, let me know. I have some good packs and a couple other suggestions that I can help out with. It's a huge problem for basically anybody still kind of refining their shooting. I'd much rather you shoot hard and high and have to rein it in than not know how to shoot at all. So I like where you're at. So yeah, if you want any help with that, shoot me a message, man. We can definitely chat about that. Good 50. Holy, lucky for them. J-Rob's there, but absolutely fantastic 50. Good try on the boost steal. Interesting. Good recovery. Unfortunately, great shot. So let's take a look at this one. So that boost gets stolen from you. Ball gets cleared, and you're coming downfield. I assume you assume Leon is going for this ball. So you're going down, and Leon wins it cleanly, but it does go right to one of them. As soon as you see Wegner following you here, brake check. This is the best advice for dodging bumps I can possibly give you. Always, 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 these guys are leading you, right? They're trying to lead where you're going, and generally I'll see people try to like turn away, or they'll jump, or they'll do something like that. But the issue when you do either of those is that you're keeping the same momentum moving forward, and if Wenger has either good reaction time or can read you well, he can jump, he can turn, he can do whatever he needs to do to also hit you. So what I will always say, and why I'm very arguably the skill I'm the most proud of, is the fact that I very rarely get bumped. So seldom do I ever get touched, because I brake check all the time. So when Wenger is coming in here, you're going to be driving, you're just going to slam the brakes. So you're stopping on a dime right here. He's going to go flying past you, especially, I love it, especially if they jump, right? Like if they think they need to jump into you, whoo, they're gone, right? Like he is absolutely out of the play. And the fact that J-Rob has now boomed this off the wall and it's coming down this way, the fact that you've stopped here, you have 100 boost, you can quickly turn in and actually fire that back on net, pass it to Leon, start a dribble, whatever you need to do to start this play, right? And you instantly have more options. The brake check, actually a godsend. Try it. I guarantee it blows your mind how good it is if you don't do it already. But unfortunate, as we saw, you drive forward, and so you try to turn, which I appreciate. That's a good look. But yeah, the halt gets you, man. The halt is really, really good. So you land on the wall very nicely. You recover well. Would have loved to wave dash, but no worries. And you go for a good pre-jump. I think you did almost everything you could right here. It's just unfortunate that Mr. Miles, and I'm just going to give him this feedback because it is good for anybody to see, honestly. If we go to him here. Let's go a little further down. So when this ball comes in the middle, Wagner does go for him. So he breaks beautifully here. This is perfect. Oh, he jumps too, which is unfortunate. Okay, I see what happened here. So the boost got him, unfortunately. The boost is what screwed him, is when he started boosting down. So close for the save. So close. But if not for the bump there, he should ideally stop here, right? Like is where he should be stopping, and that Wenger did try to hit him, so like you can't really blame him too much for that. But he should be stopping here so that he has an easier save. But the second he boosts, just unfortunately like that, he ends up getting caught. So not much you guys can do against that one. That's just a great shot from a good player. You recovered beautifully. Really, really good job. But try that brake check on the hits. I promise you it's a godsend. It really, really does help. Good jump. Oh, good luck. I love it. And the back. Oh, KingKnight, baby. The car control. Butter smooth. Absolutely butter smooth. We get a jump into a backflip, into a cancel, into the boosting, into the diagonal flip with speed. I wish you were supersonic, so the only thing I'd add to this of like the combo of like what you pull off here. You land, diagonal flip, drive up the wall here. I'm gonna wait to go to straight a minute. Yeah. So you land, you land. And I can tell you're holding your stick to the right. I want you landing going this way, and then what you can do is you can jump. If you jump off the wall, air roll to it would be to your right technically. But so when you land with a wave dash and then diagonal flip, you can jet into supersonic instantly. This even while boostless, you could be completely boostless. If you jump off, wave dash, diagonal flip, you're supersonic. And this is a great way to end that combo that you had such a clean recovery on. Like super well done. Just another thing that you can add on to it and slowly start practicing that. What you did there was literally my free play routine, man. I'll fly off the corners, I'll half flip out of corners, I'll spin upside down, do a stall, and then try to land while drifting. Like this is what you should be doing when you're practicing and warming up, to always teach yourself these mechanics just naturally, right? And that was so clean. Anybody else watching this needs to learn from that. That was absolutely stellar, KingKnight. So well done, man. Let's go back to you. I'm hesitant to make a comment on this touch because I do know you as a person need this feedback, because I know I've talked about it to you before, but I can't tell, which is the problem. So if I'm just talking to my ass here, don't worry, don't heed this feedback, just move on. But when you have this touch coming up here, you currently know This guy's out of the play because he just touched it. Wenger is headed this way towards the boost, and they have one in net right now. So ideally, they have short here covered by Wegner. They have basically net to corner covered by J-Rob, and this guy doesn't have the play. So right now, by booming the ball, where is it going, right? And this is the big thing you got to keep in mind. So if I'm taking this play, one of two things is happening here. I'm either going to drive kind of at an angle this way to catch the ball as it comes down and then start a dribble down right down the neutral zone, or, and this I think is a little more ideal, I actually, if I was you, would have turned sharper and start going this way to let Leon hit this ball. And I'm hoping he calls these, but this is just team play you guys can work on, because we need intentional touches. And so like I said, if we look at the zone of coverage here from J-Rob and Wegner right now, you see it's pretty extensive, right? Maybe we even include the walls here and a little bit to the backboard. So like realistically, this is the zone that's currently covered. So our glory zone is over here, or it's right down the pipe, right to start. That's kind of all we have, but a boom isn't going to do that because it's going to send it into these zones anywhere, right? And so why I say I was weary to tell you is that Mr. Miles is in the corner, so I do think that booming to him is a viable touch, provided you're calling it, and I definitely want to give you the benefit of the doubt there and say, like, maybe that's what you were looking for, but nonetheless, I really want to push you to think intentionally about these touches, right? When you go for this boom and just hit it, you now have to follow this yourself with 70 boost, and like I said, J-Rob was there to eat it up. Yes, you get a fantastic 50, like, and I cannot say that enough, like a absolutely stellar 50 to bring that back in, and pressure is made now, which is great, and the play worked, but it doesn't work all the time, right? And I want to give you the best odds and the best percentage plays that I can possibly give you, and booming just so often isn't it, but so often is the choice that most players take. So just want to make sure you know that as well. Good patience here. Great patience. Now you can eat that up. Oh, nice try. Nice try. That was a great play, though, in general. Oh, what a save from J-Rob. Great pass in the middle, and nobody's there. Mr. Miles, baby. Not your ball. Not your ball. Not your ball. Not your ball. You guys were killing it up until then. Beautiful infield pass. Absolutely gorgeous infield pass. Mr. Miles clears this beautifully. I love that you try to take out the goalie. That is flawless. This is not your ball. You know this when you're coming in, because when you center this, you see Mr. Miles hit it, and you see that Leon is already in the middle. So you have to assume he is coming, right? You absolutely need to assume that he is coming here. So for you, your only thought should be take a body, which you tried, and then start getting pads whatever route you end up taking out of the zone. That should all you care, because you're covering because Miles is deep in the zone. Leon's about to come in, meaning you need to leave. And so as soon as you go up for this, you see there's Leon. There he is, coming deep for that ball, right? And honestly, if you had actually taken the pads and maybe went out this way or came through the center, whatever that may be, you could actually probably turn after this challenge, pick up the ball, and we got a double commit from these two, right? So we know that we have the pressure and possession now. So huge thing to keep in mind. Like, I love that you're playing speedy, and I love that you're going for these balls, but you got to be cognizant of this, that ends up being a cutoff. Let's see where she goes. Luckily not scored on from it either. Same thing. So I hope this is proof to my case. So why are we going in net, right? Like, so that's the big question of like what do we gain by driving into the net here? Are we safe in covering? Sure, I definitely can give you that, and we avoid the demo from J-Rob. Two definitely big points. But as soon as you drift into net, your body language, regardless of your comms, shows that you're not going. And if I'm your teammate, I'm probably going to go instead of you here, because I'm like, oh, he probably doesn't have boost, so he's just trying to get in net. And you see it instantly. Mr. Miles starts boosting. You both flip. You're all over each other. He actually spins you out, and now both of you lose all your speed, and Leon is left by himself in net. So I really hope you see what I'm talking about with that drifting into net, because as much as it generally feels right, it feels safe, it feels like the play to do, it almost never is. It really isn't. And so if we go back, let's look at what we can do instead. We're going down, that pops up. Great. All you're going to do literally is you're going to hopefully get that. Oh, let's different color. You're hopefully going to grab this pad. You're going to grab this pad, you're going to grab this pad, and you're just going to turn back out to net and start moving out this way, because we know Mr. Miles is already coming in, so that means you are moving into this number 1 position, he's moving into the number 2, and Leon, who just challenged, should be coming in behind him as well. That's how we get these cycles going, right? But the second that you retreat to net, despite technically being the number 1 right now, boom, we have you and Mr. Miles stuck in with Leon trying to come back, and then you both spin each other out. Neither of you get to the ball, and now Leon, who is technically the third in all of this, is now the one who has to get the first touch, right? Good control. Good look. I love it. I absolutely adore it. There's no reason Leon doesn't get this pass to you, other than just like not being able to. That's not fair at all. I'm being rude. But he should be looking for it, right? And it looks like he does. Truthfully, I do think that was him looking for it. But obviously, it's nowhere near you. But these are the plays, and you can really share this with the lads if you want to. These are the plays that should be ground passes, right? This comes out. There's no pressure right now, so he really should be trying to lead this ball as much as he can. So really, really leading it, trying to hit on this side and trying to hit high on it. So let me actually show you the dot. Of where I would want. When the ball comes to him, I would be wanting to hit it like here, because now it's going to stay down, so it's going to be a good ground pass, and he's wrapping around it so it doesn't go this way, it instead goes this way, which will lead you perfectly. You can pick it up, and the best part, and the reason, the end-all reason that I love hitting it on this side of the ball is that then your car's momentum, Leon's car's momentum, is going to bring him this direction, meaning he can join you for a 2-on-1 down the line, and this should be your breakout every single time. If you go watch I think it was a Bong Taj's March replay, you can see me talking about this because he and his team had some great breakouts, and I really break it down on what it should look like, and I'd recommend you check it out. But this is exactly what it should always look like, only if Leon actually hits this pass, which unfortunately he does not. But I love the fact that you turn. I love it. Satisfying. Makes me so happy. Great job. Please keep doing this. This is absolutely flawless Rocket League when you're able to pull that off. Good job not going up. Nice and patient. Careful, 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 careful. So right away, does this look like it's over Miles' head? 1,000,000,000% I agree. I also probably would jump right away. The second you jump, Miles has already also jumped. Miles is actually a little high. He jumped a little before you. The second he does that, you boost. You use about 10 boosts to boost right back down to the ground. You don't jump again. You stay in net. Does not matter if you think he's going to hit it or not. You need to stay in net. It feels shitty. I'll be very honest with you. It feels shitty because in your head, you're like, well, I'm going to get a better touch than Miles will. 100%. You guys, you can definitely call him off. Like there's some value there. But in just standard Rocket League play, you have the most information right now. You see everybody but one other player on the field. Therefore, you are in the most strategic position in the game, and you should stay there. I don't want you going up to these unless you call him off, unless you guys are at that level, whatever that looks like. Would you have had a great touch? Yeah, it looked like it for sure. But Miles actually had a fantastic aerial here and was able to chip that off to the side. And now we don't have a goalie. Leon again is stuck as that third coming back into net, and we can't have this being a theme. Close, very close. Good aerial. The follow. Well done. But my question, who we going to? Where are we going? What's the plan? Right now, just as you jump, what blue challenger do we have? We have one leaving, and we have absolutely none in sight over here. Who are we going to? Where is the ball going? What's the plan? What's the intention, right? This is what I really want to nail down with you, is that we need intention every single time we touch the ball. Why are we doing what we do? Why are we hitting this ball? Why are we aerialing? Why are we booming? Whatever it may be, you should always be asking yourself why until you get that into your muscle memory. Because is this a very clean aerial, nice pretty touch, feels good? 100%. Looks butter smooth. Love it. Makes me feel happy. It's satisfying to watch. What is the purpose, right? Let's watch. You hit it. J-Rob turns. J-Rob plays back to goalie. Goalie clears. Offense done. We had a beautiful defensive move. We are ready to break it out. And just like that, our entire offense has been eliminated. When right now, as a team, we have only generated 7 shots, most of which have probably been from about outside the zone. And so we really got to keep that in mind when we're going through here. So, and then my next question, just for pressure. why aren't we going for this mid boost instead of even if he wins it, right? At least we're taking him out of the play. I want you going for this boost here, even though he's currently going for it as well, because if you win it, he is now equally out of the play and out of boost, and if you lose it, that's fine. Now you retreat, right? There's no worries there. And sometimes, and I'll be frank, sometimes people will land, get this one, and then go to your far one. Great. That's cool. You're not going to go with them. You're going to stay. You're going to collect your pads. You're going to follow the routes that you've seen and that you know, and you're going to be in the play. Meanwhile, one of their guys is diddy-daddling over in your end, right? And you can abuse that. So really, anytime that you... So right now, you're the third man. You're the one leaving, right? So you technically... Your only job is to recover, get boost, and come back, right? So what can we do in that idle time while we're doing it? Oh, maybe we get a demo. Maybe we get a bump. Maybe we take a boost and he's out of the play. Maybe we force him into our end. Try to do different things that engage the game still while you're having this idle time, and try to use it as intelligently as you possibly can, and you'll really start to see some value there. And I hope you kind of see where I'm leaning right now and what I'm kind of going for, because there is a lot of value when instead what we end up seeing is you full supersonic back to the other end. Raduzo gets the boost himself, and now he's back in net to make the play, right? Good tip over, Mr. Miles, the hero. Big save. KingKnight, another hero. Oh, nice try. I appreciate that you wait here, right? Here. I really appreciate that you don't jump at this, just in case it hits the post, right? So you can eat that up, and it doesn't, which is okay. But I do appreciate you don't jump to that. That is a very, very smart play. Another good center. Unfortunately, right to J-Rob. Oh, posting out again. Holy, back and forth gameplay. Good follow from Mr. Miles. Very good follow from Mr. Miles. Good touch. Oh, unfortunate miss. Careful. See how you cut here? So this, right now, Leon's already in net. All you had to do was cycle back around him instead. Let me see if I can actually get that with the view. So we already know right now, as soon as you peek, because I love that you switch between the two cameras. Keep doing that. You need to do it to gather information. So when you look back to straight cam, you should see Leon cycling into net. Therefore, right now, all you should be doing is a hard drift to go back around and loop back around into the back post. Simple as that. Nothing more. Leon has a much easier hit than you do when you have to come in, do a full drift the other way, gain speed again to then get back up and make the play. See how awkward that is? And if we watch it here, now knowing Leon is behind you, when watching this in hindsight, watch how awkward this is. So you go, you turn, you now have to reverse to the jump to get a small touch under him, when Leon could have done all that but faster, stronger, and we could have started the play, right? And unfortunately now Leon has to go and try to catch up to the second challenge. Mr. Miles has to try to catch up to the third, and with 10 seconds left, we just wasted another 5 seconds. So really try to keep in mind those rotations. I think for you, like, you play them so well, but when you get panicked, like in terms of defense or towards the end of the game, you start to forget them a bit. So you really got to get that into your muscle memory and make sure that that's solid. Nice try. 3, 2, 1. Keep it up. Keep it up. Nice try. All right, man. Dude, really good replay. Really, really good. And man, it is really fun to watch you guys play now. Like, you get better every single month. It is really, really cool. The improvement I'm really seeing, especially with you, man. In the air, your recoveries, your speed, it is really coming together. You are looking absolutely butter smooth, and it makes me really happy to see. My biggest 2 things that I need to give you is your rotations, like I said. So really try to keep those in mind for the stressful situations. You don't need to do it all. You're a fantastically talented player, but you don't need to do it all. You have 2 great players on your sides. Let them play as well, right? And like really try to make sure that they're part of the play as well. And like, as you saw, like, it was only 4 or 5 times. Like, it really wasn't a lot, but we slowly got to reduce that number to 0 in the games, right? And so I'm going to keep being nitpicky with you there. So that's one. The second other big point is intentional touches, right? You do a lot of very smooth, speedy, powerful hits, but where and why, right? And you really got to start challenging yourself on that. And literally to the point that, like, when I noticed that was like a meta I had to start to kind of change to, of like slowing it down and not always booming it, I literally, when I was playing, every single time I was going up to the ball, I would literally in my, like, out loud say why every single time. And specifically when I would say why and I boomed it away, I would be there like, I don't have a good reason. Like, I can't actually justify why I hit that at all. and I really started to identify where I should and shouldn't be hitting these balls. So that worked really well for me. I hope that works for you, and think about it. Like I said, if shooting or anything like that, you want any packs or suggestions or things to work on, please shoot me a message. I'll pass them along. But once again, thank you so much for passing in this replay. I always have a blast working on yours. It's a pleasure. And we're going to leave it there. But yeah, so this has been another Patreon replay analysis. I've been Combo for the ASAP Weekly podcast. Thank you again to KingKnight, our patron, and all of the other patrons who support us. It really is incredible to be able to do something fun like this, help you out, and also like get paid for it. It's really, really cool. It's a fantastic opportunity, and I cannot thank you all enough. So thanks for watching, listening, whatever style of medium you're using, and I will see you in the next one.